I fully realize that the Las Vegas Raiders defense over the last couple of years has, well, not even for the last couple of years, for what seems like the last decade, has not exactly performed up to expectations. In fact, it's been the Achilles heel. We know all that. We've been around long enough to be able to see it. We know that. But I do think that there is a lot of reason to be excited about the Raiders defense this year. A, because it can't get any worse. Maybe not. Anyway, point is, I really feel like the Raiders defense is going to be better this year. And take that for what it's worth, because I know it's been a lower end type of a defense in the NFL, or at least lower ranked. But I think there's a lot of players that you have to be excited about, especially the young ones. Now, there's really only a player that I see having a big impact that's over 30, and that's Chandler Jones, currently 33 right now. Yes, there's other guys on the roster right now that are a little up there, but I don't think that those guys like John Jenkins and that are going to be guys that really do see the time of day overall. But, if you look at the core of this defense, like I talked about, so Max Crosby, 25 years old. He's a guy that I really see them building around. Jacorian Bennett, the rookie corner, I'm excited about him to see what he's going to do. Like we said, he's only 22. So, there's a lot of different players. Curtis Bolton, I really don't see him being a big part. So excuse me as Mari Burney was another young player that I'm really excited about. Darian Butler, 23, another linebacker that you're going to see what he can do. Matthew Butler, the D tackle, only a second-year player coming up out of Tennessee, 24 years old. There's really, and even guys like Nate Hobbs that are, and Divine Diablo, who's 24, like we touched on. There's other players around this roster that you look at, you're like, okay, with any amount of coaching, I really feel like they can be in a spot where, hey, they may not be, those players right now, but with the right amount of coaching, with a couple of years in a good system, who knows? Guys like Malcolm Kuntz, like really, quite honestly, if you just like this entire defense, if you give them the chance, if you put them in the right scheme, if you teach them the right way, I really think there's something to be said of having a lot of young defensive players that you can mold. I really don't think that, if you look at the Raiders defense right now, I think that if defensive coordinators, if Patrick Graham left, I wouldn't exactly cry, but if you look at what this defense has, particularly right now, one of the best young edge rushers and a guy like Max Crosby, who's constantly hated on. Even guys like we touched on, Divine Diablo, Marcus Epps, who they brought in from the Eagles, Trayvon Morig, who I'm really hoping can pull it together in year 3. Duke Shelley, they brought over from the Vikings. Still a little salty about that one, but just top to bottom, I really feel like the Raiders might finally have their edge rushing duo of the future in Max Crosby and Tyree Wilson. Also, Chandler Jones can give you a little something going into, what is he going to be, 34 this year? Even the defensive tackle room, there's really no old guys on this roster that you're like, with the right coaching, with the right amount of, direction and making sure that these young guys develop, I think it could be a really exciting unit. I think it's a fast unit. I think it's a young unit, and I think it's a unit you can build something off of. So I really feel like the Raiders defense is going to be better this year, and I think it is going to be frustrating. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be, learning curves like we touched on with players like Amari Burney last night, but overall, you got to be excited about this Raiders defense. I think it's young. I think it's exciting. I think it's going to be better than last year. Again, take that for what it's worth. But I think, hey, if you're holding out hope for anything, at least hope for a middle-of-the-pack Raiders defense, because I think that's what we're looking at this year as a best-case scenario. Worst case, like I said, I still think it's going to be better than it's been over the last couple of years. But let us know what you guys think about the Las Vegas Raiders having a young but faster and more exciting defense and promising defense. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Also, remember to leave a comment. That's what helps people find the show. But at the end of the day, let us know what you guys think about the Raiders defense being a young and promising unit.